Yeah, well, if I look around, there's plenty of upside in that sense. I was surprised, last week there were investor surveys, fund manager surveys globally. 90% of people don't believe that there is anything like a V-shaped recovery, which is the usual, which is just happening as we speak. And this is by far not priced in. There's 4.5 trillion in money markets parked in the US alone. So I think that money will actually be looking for investment opportunities as we get evidence that things are improving. And that's the path we're currently following. So I think there's more of this ahead, and there might be more positive surprises in the near future.
Very interesting, Christian, that you've started to take profits on some of the lockdown beneficiaries. Can you just walk us through that trade? You've talked about video gaming, but does that extend to say food delivery services and other sectors that have been beneficiaries of the lockdown so far? Do you think the best is now over for those stocks?
No, we think this is only in the very short term. This was a boost. I mean, video gaming being there in the epicenter, I mean, they were just swamped with demand. And this is hard to be continued anytime soon. But in many places, be it with the food suppliers, online services. So, of course, this is just a catalyst, has been a catalyst for their services. And we don't think that they will give away their market share anytime soon. So we'd rather be cautious in kind of clearing the decks on those names, but rather be quite concentrated and taking it only as a tactical stance. We think the long story or the long-term story is unbroken, and it actually was boosted, and maybe a bit too much of the good, but this is not reversing in the long run.
And I just wanted to have a look at Uber. You've initiated coverage with a buy on Uber. The stock's currently sitting a little under, $35 here, but it's already come off that $21 number that we saw back on March of this year. So there's already $10 back in the price. How much higher do you think Uber can go from here, given that it's still going to be a slow relief to the lockdown in the United States and elsewhere?
I think market will be extremely fast at repricing that, but we don't necessarily take only the short-term story and the recovery story, but rather the change we saw in the corporation, and in particular when it comes to financial numbers. When this company was IPO'd, it was all about growth, and we found it quite intransparent when it came to the financials. Now we see a shift, and a shift clearly in favor of the shareholders, meaning profitability being in the focus. And as well, in terms of transparency, we've seen a much better set of data also in terms of breadth and depth to capture and value this company. So we're more confident that you can actually capture the growth. You're able to see what you get as a shareholder, and management is more focused on your financials rather than growing at any price.